Okay, guys, welcome to Bfree's second webinar. This one is feeding off the first webinar, which was all about, the Bfree in 90 days, which is about, really setting people up to collaborate with Bfree, like why we do what we do, and just sort of seeing if you align and you're ready and willing to collaborate with us, and also the companies and the conscious businesses that we collaborate with. The second one of the series is about why do you do what you do, and what are those areas of belief that you need to be 10 out of 10 in to make sure that you can succeed at whatever you do, and especially succeed at what we're doing here. So this, for me, I think is the cornerstone and the foundation of why people succeed and why they don't. And because at the end of the day, the what, the how, it's all very similar, but the thing that drives people to succeed in the same organization, the same industry, in the same sporting team is this willingness to know why you're doing it and having that burning desire. So hopefully we can give you a bit of clarity around that, and this is a tool that, again, that you can share with other friends and family and people that come along on this journey for you. So before watching this one, go back and watch the Bfree in 90 Days webinar, and then kick that into this one. Now, just before we get started, with the Bfree team, we're going to run this Bfree in 90 days starting on April 6th. So just a reminder, just put this in your diary. So we're about 2 to 3 weeks out. This whole March area, or this whole March month, has been about a bit of an incubation time. So just giving people the tools and the education that they need to really run a successful business or a part-time lifestyle business. So before April 3rd, to qualify for this secret business group, and the reason we're doing this is because everybody wants to do it and they want to try and things like that, and that's cool. We'll still support you, and you can still sort of run your own race at your own pace, but we want to create a little page where we can run with the runners and support the people that want to walk with the walkers for now. And we want to really change people's lives with this, and the financial freedom and obviously getting rid of that financial stress whilst using this as a tool to help people is what we're really looking for. So first thing you need to do, isogenicsbusiness.com, just a bit of a training module there, but just go and really get clear around that. Use that to fill out your 90-day game plan, and make sure that that's nice and clear. You're organised. You've filled out all the boxes. You ran past that with somebody. You've booked in to have your first sort of info session or a little launch party, so that you can sort of kick off your business and make sure that you've shared it with at least 2 people, or even have 2 accountability buddies to do it with you. And the other qualification thing that we're going to do is you've got to be prepared to be a product of the product. We're in a health and wellness industry, so everyone for the start of April 6th that's going to be doing their President's Pack and start the journey with their people. And even going the next level, if you're really serious about it, register for an ISA Body Challenge and get a couple of buddies to do it with you. And you can be a supportive group for each other. Now, the Bfree in 90 Days finishes on July 6th. Anyone that's interested in getting involved should have an end goal of wanting to share it with at least 10 people and teaching them how to empower and share it with 2 people. And all we're doing, this isn't anything new or anything special. We're just modelling Brett and Sammy Gascoigne and Peter Kelly, who have used these systems and tools to create the fastest business in the history of this company. So when you've done that, message Tully or myself, either on Facebook or over email, and then we'll ask you some qualifying questions and then get you straight into the group. So just before we get started, some agreements. If you haven't read or listened to the audio book, The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, this is probably the foundation of being a professional network marketer, is being impeccable with your word, learning not to take things personally. If people have a go at you over you trying to share something that's worked really well with you, then often it's a projection of something in themselves. So don't take it personally, or maybe just look at what you're doing, going, stop pushing and just start attracting and inviting people. Don't make assumptions. It's a really big one. We start to get in our head and start to think that we know what other people are thinking. We've never had telepathy, and I'm pretty sure that no one does. But if they do, good on them. But realistically, for most of us, we don't have that. So just don't make any assumptions. And at the end of the day, don't get overwhelmed with things. Just do your best. If you can just do your best, then this will be a breeze, and you won't put any unrealistic expectations on yourself, and this will be fine. So the foundation of this webinar is about the systems and processes. There's 2 business training platforms that I'll talk about in a second that you can use. One's for the under 35s and one's for everyone else. And it's just because there's 2 demographics of people. We want to help you get really clear on why you're doing this and the 5 belief areas that's going to make you successful. How do you use the tools and have a bit of a database that you can use and feed back on, so you don't have to go and keep searching for this stuff. And also just to walk away from this webinar and be like, okay, it's up to me. My success and failure is up to me. But the really cool thing is I have this awesome supportive community, which is Bfree, and also the 5 people you surround yourself with. And just separate yourself from being a Steve Jobs. You don't have to be an innovator. It's all been created and done for you. Brett and Sammy G say it really well. Just duplicate the systems and processes and you'll get there really quickly. The first business platform is isogenicsbusiness.com. So that was part of the quality. If you're someone that's just going a little bit, as Oprah Winfrey says, run your own race at your own pace. If you're just going nice and slow and you're just walking yourself into this, just start here and just start that building block. And then, so for some of you that are going to do this before the 90 days, you want to know this inside and out. For the people that are just learning at their own pace, it could take you 12 months, could take you 2 years. Whatever it is for you, just work through that and you've got a really cool training module. If you're under the age of 35 and you're part of this new Gen Y of social entrepreneurs, you want to get around this page, startyourlife.com. And basically it connects you back to isogenicsbusiness.com, but all the training is done through young people who are living these amazing lives. And the amazing thing about that is it gives you the belief that you can do it, especially when, for a lot of the younger generation, we've never been taught to think or believe or dream that we can actually do anything different than what's been done in the past. So this is a really inspiring page that if you're under 35, use isogenicsbusiness.com as a platform, but then feed into this as well. Now, the key question before we get into this and really picking up why you want to do this is just sit back and ask yourself this question and just sit with it for a minute. And if you've got a pen and paper, feel free to write it down, but just ask yourself, if time and money were no barrier, what would you do tomorrow? Who would you be with? What would you be doing? What would your environment be like? Would you be on an island in Indonesia? Would you be surfing? Would you be looking after your kids? Would you be going to their practices? Would you, be contributing back to society or maybe in a global sense? What does that look like for you? And just really start to think about that and plant that seed, because thoughts become things. And if you can really harness that image and capture that and just make it more vivid and get all your 5, maybe even your 6 senses around it, then you can start to paint this picture that will eventually become reality. So kicking into why you do what you do, it's not about what. The what's the same for all of us, but the reason why your Peter Kelly succeed, your Arian Davids, the people that have really done well with this vehicle is because they've got a big why. Dave and Irene were just big nurturers. They just wanted to help everybody. Peter Kelly wanted to free a family and really get back and impact the world, and it's for you. Even it could just be having an extra $200 a week to pay your mortgage off, so you don't have that financial stress in your relationship. If you don't know the big fluffy why, then do it for the money. If that's what drives you and gets you out of bed in the morning, start with that, and then you can develop this as you go. As an example, you're part of the Bfree community, and I'm not sure if you've seen the new website, but get on and have a look. And basically, our why is we believe in the empowerment of men and women around the world to live an awesome life of choice, financial independence, and good health, so they can truly make a difference in this world, creating a legacy of contribution through passion and purpose. So, do you align with that, and is it something that you believe in? If not, that's okay, but this is a community that you're collaborating with, and just figure out what is it that you believe in, and why is that so? And I guess the easiest way to really figure out what that why is start with this guy. Go to YouTube, Simon Sinek, and start with why. And what he talks about is everybody talks about the how and the what. You know, you go to university, you get a degree so you can get a job and pay off a mortgage, and then you have kids. But he flips it around and goes, well, why do you do that? Are you doing that to be happy? Are you doing that to have a loving family? Are you doing that to create a lifestyle that you enjoy? Like, start with the why, and then the what and the how will figure itself out. So that's the cornerstone for really figuring out what your why is. Now, there's another great tool from a good friend of mine, Peter Kelly, and she runs through this in a bit more detail. And this is part of isogenicsbusiness.com in the training section. And it's about establishing your why. So, again, another tool you can watch if you need to facilitate this and just sit with this. Get some pens and paper out, get some whiteboards out, whatever it is, and just start to paint a picture of why you want to do this and where you want to go in the future, and really just paint it and be as vivid as you want. And then what I want you to do is, once you've figured that out and you've sort of mind mapped it, you might need to do it with a friend, paint that picture on a vision board and chuck it up on your wall and just keep it there. Because it's so interesting. I did this about 1.5 years ago, and everything that I had on that vision board has become a reality or is starting to become a reality. And it's just that it just feeds into that thing that thoughts become things. And wherever your focus goes, that's where your mindset will expand that and make it happen. And it's actually really, really scary, some of the things that I've put on that board have come true. Now, once you've done your vision board, if you want to get around the crew, hashtag Bfree vision board, post it up on your page or post it up on Instagram, and then we can start sharing and really being accountable to each other. So that's your why. That's the foundation of why you're going to get out of bed in the morning. Why should people care? Why should you collaborate with Bfree? Why should you collaborate with Isogenics? Why do you want to do what you want to do? How does this fit in as a vehicle? You know, is this something you're going to do on the side, or are you going to go all in on it? Is this a stepping stone to somewhere else? Like, what does the end goal represent to you, and why and where does this fit in? So once you get really clear on that, then all that happens is you just have to build belief in it. So the amazing thing about having a really strong why is that'll get you out of bed in the morning. But if you don't believe in what you're doing, you're still not going to do it with your day-to-day actions. So belief is a thing that the thing always happens that you really believe in, and the belief in that thing makes it happen. So the belief that you can do it is the thing that's going to underpin your success and failure. And we break that down into 5 sections. The first one is belief in yourself. And David Wood says it really well, but your business will only grow as much as you do. And the only way to overcome a lack of belief in yourself is to surround yourself with 5 positive people, because you're a product of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and allow them to kick you into action, because action negates all negative emotion. The people that struggle in this business and in this industry are the ones that are getting ready to get ready. So even like what you saw with our qualifying process is we want you to get into gear, take action, have a launch party, get someone to help you with that, and start, get your first two friends on board so they can be your accountability buddies or doing the things. And then it doesn't seem so hard anymore, and it's a matter of just continuing that. And I guess to make this really easy is to build belief in yourself, be a product of the product, feel it. Make sure your story is authentic and real. Don't create something and push it onto people. People will get attracted to you and be curious about what you're doing through your results and through your real authentic story. Everyone can tell when you're telling porky pies, because that's not authentic, and you won't feel authentic with it. Once you've got a clear why, then it's a matter of just being open and coachable, and then duplicating the systems and processes. Keep it super simple until you really understand what you're doing. And if you want to fast track it a bit before, get to the events. David Wood's got events coming to Australia. You got University in Action, you got Celebration, and just really stick to that. Now, the other thing that will show you that you can do it and build belief in yourself is stories. So isomovie.com is another great tool that you can use, and I can assure you that there is someone in there that is exactly like you who has already created a pathway for you to follow. And the great thing about seeing their story and sharing those stories with other people is they then believe that they can do it. Because if it's already been done, there's a pathway to success. It's just a matter of you either modeling what they did or just believing that you can. So in isomovie.com, in the wealth creation section, there's all these movies on there. So have a play and find one that really resonates with you, and have that as your pathway to success. I always love Jimmy the Butcher, because I had this in the last webinar, but he's the butcher with no network marketing experience, no health and wellness experience, just a good bloke. And he goes, when I found there was a business where I could spend a few $100 to get started, eat my overheads, become healthy in his 70s, fail 90% of the time, and become obscenely wealthy, creating that financial and time freedom, he just said, you know what, I can do this. So I want all of you to walk away from this and be like, I can do this. I can do this. There's somebody here that's already done it. I just have to do a little bit of work and I can do this. So the next belief area, the second pillar, is products and systems. So you need to be a product of the product to believe in it. If you're not a product of the product, you're not going to believe in it, people aren't going to believe in it. So that's number one. And then it's a matter of teaching people what's in it. Now, you don't have to be an expert. There's isoproductau.com. On that page, go get really familiar with it. So whenever anyone asks about the products, you either connect them on a three-way call with somebody who will direct them here, or you direct them to this page and just go have a look at this. So rather than looking at a blog that a second-year personal trainer has written because he's got a paleo background and he follows certain other blogs, send them to the real science. Send them to the 32 world-leading scientists with Nobel Prize-winning research with over 1,000 years of accumulated nutritional knowledge, and let them sort of compare apples with oranges. And then isogenicshealth.net is science. A great tool I use is if you YouTube Jen Jeffries and Danny Catania, why isogenics, you've got a naturopath and a sports dietitian having a discussion over why isogenics, which is really cool because it edifies the program and they cut through the bullshit and it's really authentic. If you want any longer tools for the real nitty-gritty people that just need to know that in-detail stuff, there's a Jim Rhodes audiobook in the Bfree Dropbox, and that goes for about 40 minutes. It goes through in detail. He lectured to Harvard University on the state of illness, disease, the gut health, immune system. Food Matters is a great non-related documentary to isogenics and to Bfree, but it paints a really good foundation for people to start thinking this way. Michael Mosley on intermittent fasting. Again, in the Western world, it's not commonly accepted, and that's a great everyday documentary that you can send to people about why they do cleanse days. Now, the third area of belief is network marketing. So the biggest one here is people will think it's a pyramid scheme, and the reason for this is that I think over 50,000 network marketing businesses are created every year, and about 49,999 of them fail. And the reason is network marketing is just word-of-mouth marketing. That's just the distribution strategy you have around a product. If you've got a really good product, the word-of-mouth distribution works. If you've got a really bad product and you don't have the right systems and processes, it's going to fail. So what they look for is that a company's been around for 10 years, it's got growth in its domestic market and things like that, and there's some really good tools that run through that as well. And these are all things that Isogenics has, and the reason why we choose to collaborate with them. So Robert Kiyosaki, when people are brought up in an employee mindset, so 95% of us are in the employee mindset, then we're trying to shift them into the top right quadrant and be like, well, you can collaborate with businesses that are doing it well, rather than thinking you always have to go straight into small business, or you'll have to go straight into investing and getting a mortgage off a bank. So it's just breaking the paradigm for people, the first one, and going, guess what, you can do what you're doing, but add this as a secondary source of income on the side. Maybe even create 2 or 3 streams of income, and then use that as positive cash flow into a small business or into an investment. David Wood, he overviews the myth-busting side of it. He's great, so have a look at that one. Isogenics, the Evolved Economy, it talks about health and wellness being the next $1 trillion industry and where Isogenics aligns with that. And then again, have a look on isomovie.com in the wealth creation section and startyourlife.com, because what I think 60% of people buy the fact that people have already done it. So if there's already a pathway to success, they're going to believe you. Robert Kiyosaki, again, I had this in the last webinar, but the richest people look for and build networks, knowing that your network is your net worth. So these are the top right quadrant people. Everyone else looks for work. They've got that employee mindset. So you've got to break that paradigm. Sometimes why people don't get involved is they're still in the old paradigm, and you're trying to go, well, this is the future of business. It's a 21st century business, as Robert Kiyosaki talks about it. And he also talks about financial freedom being about service. And a lot of people get into this, and like we said before, if you need to do it for the money to pay your mortgage, that's a big enough why, because it probably relates to your family and other things. So that's fine. But long term, if you change your focus from making money to serving more people, in a network marketing industry, your wealth creation will be in direct proportion to the amount of people you help. So think about it that way. And if you, even on your vision board, if every person you help, you just put up a photo or that message they sent you saying thank you, and you just create a board of all these people that you've helped. So when you have those days where someone doesn't understand the paradigm that you're in or understand the health and wellness journey that you're trying to portray, you just look back to the people you've already helped and just say, you know what, it's not for them yet, they're on their own journey, and then you can carry on. Now, the fourth biggest one, the belief area, is a compensation plan. So again, Kathy Coover is probably, I send them maximizing the compensation plan with her. If you want to keep it really simple for the people that are just getting started, do the U plus 2, them plus 2. There's a great video floating around where there's a 7-year-old girl doing the U plus 2, them plus 2, just to show that anybody can do it, and it's really important because anybody can. Eric Coover then goes into the Isagenix compensation plan in detail, so if you need to know the nitty-gritty of business volume and that type of stuff, have a look at that. The one that I really like is Lynn Haggard on getting your people paid, because she talks about the business is there's about 90+% retention if you get your people paid. So if everybody you got into your business, you got their products paid for, and you help them cycle once, they would stay in your business. So she changed her focus to that and serving more people and getting their products paid, and she started getting better health results, and she started getting people sticking in the business longer and sharing it with more people, so she had more impact. So again, that's a really good tool. The last belief area is belief in the company, and for me this was a big one because I had to fly to Singapore and actually meet Jim and Kathy Coover, and recently met John Anderson at Celebration in Brisbane, and it's not until you really hear it from their mouth that you feel it. You get that heart-to-heart connection, and you can feel the purity of intent that people have, because there's a lot of people, a lot of companies going around with these amazing mission statements, but no one's really doing it. No one's really taking action with it. And for these guys to create that mission statement and to be doing it, and to see people like Jim Coover, every time someone wins an IsaBody challenge, like he's literally in tears on stage, and it's real, because that's what he created this company for. And Kathy Coover, every time that she impacts someone's life and frees them financially, the same thing happens. She's like the heart of Isagenix. And John Anderson, to create this system to impact world health, when he was already the richest man in Arizona with Michael Jackson's giraffe, to come out of retirement to give this to the world, and also for his own health, I think is pretty special. And that's, I guess, where this is coming from. And then you want to go and have a look at Kathy Coover's Isagenix History Explained, so you can get a little bit more detail about it. And also have a look at the founders, so Jim and Kathy Coover, John Anderson, Dr. Bill Andrews. Look at Sierra Sciences, and he chose to collaborate with Isagenix for a reason. He could have gone with anybody, but because of what John Anderson had created, he brought his Nobel Prize-winning research and telomere support and added it onto the system that these guys have created. It's about collaboration, not competition. And Michael Colgan was the same. So they're the 5 belief areas. That's your why. Now, outside of getting a really solid foundation, is you want to start to learn how to be a professional network marketer. So the first book we talked about, and you can grab Audible, or you can to get your podcast if you're more of an audio person, or you can jump on Amazon and buy these for like $5 or $10, or even just have a look at your secondhand bookstore. But there will be 4, maybe 5 books that you'll want to have over this journey over Bfree in 90 days. The first one is the 4 Agreements, because that's the foundation to you being able to overcome objections and just be authentic and be real. The second one is the Go Giver, which is about, people often sit there and it's all about what they can get from people, but often you have to give to receive, and that's the values that we really promote at Bfree. Is you want to go out there and serve the masses, and as a result, you build trust and rapport, and then people will do business with you because people buy people. The other 3 are about network marketing as an industry. So Building an Empire is a great book by Bright for just learning how to do presentations and things like that. And then Eric Worre, which is about GoPro. So it's about how to invite people to see your opportunity. And these 5 books, just have them. If you don't worry about anything else, just focus on these. And we'll layer your education over time. But if you just get in the space now before Bfree 90 Days starts, just have these on your bookshelf so you're ready to go. Then you'll have a really good foundational knowledge about all the belief areas, your why, and then also how to actually do this. And then all you have to do is engage with the Bfree community. There's some really exciting stuff happening. People are looking at really investing in Bfree as a community, which is you guys, and we're going to ramp up the website so you've got an attractive tool. Once you get to manager, you can become one of our Bfree agents, and you can apply and get some business cards and stuff. So it becomes a really nice way for you to get out there and really start to impact more people and get them involved in the community. And like we said, your network is your net worth. And then we all just happen to use the vehicle, which is Isagenix, because it aligns with who we are and where we're going in the world. And also the big pain points in the world at the moment, which is financial stress, obesity, and all the health issues that we're seeing. So bringing it back just to focus, I want you to just think about this. So before April 3rd, just have a bit of awareness about this presentation. You've got it as a tool now. It'll be loaded up onto YouTube, and you can send it on to other people and people in your team. But all you have to do is, if you're going to jump on board with the Bfree in 90 days starting April 6th, you want to have this done by the Friday. So like we said before, isagenixbusiness.com, 90-day game plan, or booking your launch party and get someone to help you kickstart that. Be a product of the product, order your pack for the start of April 6th, and then register for the IsaBody Challenge and empower a couple of mates to do it with you. And just knowing, our next webinar next Tuesday at 7 p.m. will be about the Bfree in 90 days, so the game plan. So we've got some really cool things and structures in place, so that all you have to do is literally plug into it. But it will only be available for the people in the Bfree 90 days group, and everyone else can sort of plug through at their own pace and just keep on feeding the systems that are there. But we want to really help the people that want to change their circumstance and really impact people's lives. So we've been putting a lot of effort into set up webinars. We've got some great leaders who have already succeeded in this business who are going to come in and share their stories and really ramp it up. We've got some cool little webinars and weekly check-ins so that you can stay up to date with how you're actually tracking with your business. And at the end of the day, it just takes away all the stress, so that all you have to do is focus on doing the things, being authentic, sharing your story, and then as a community we'll grow and we'll impact more people. So that's it from me. Hopefully you took away something from that. And what I want you to do now is just sit back and just get really clear on your why. You've got the tools for the 5 belief areas, but get really clear on your why. Create that vision board, or update it if you have to, and then hashtag Bfree vision board and take a photo of it, and just share that with our community, and just so people know what you're doing and you're putting it out to the world to be accountable. And then just let that sit there and then get busy, and you'll see some amazing things will happen. So that's it from me, guys. Hopefully you got out of that what you needed, and I'll see you all Tuesday next week at 7 p.m.